their plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh.
Greetings to the Conscious Collective. I know if you haven't been living on a rock somewhere, you probably have seen this video and know about the unaliving of the Minnesota woman by ICE agent. And you have people on both sides of the spectrum, those against and those for, and that's what's going to happen on this plane of existence, where you're going to have this conflict back and forth. But I wanted to come before the Conscious Collective so we can have a discussion on our response or how we should be dealing with the chaos and fear that is part of the transition to 5D reality. 3D we know is lower vibration. 4D is that journey to higher understanding and awakening, and then we enter 5D, which is actual splitting of the earth, where there's people who live in a higher consciousness as opposed to those that live in a lower consciousness. And so I wanted to talk to the collective about our spiritual response and what we should be doing while all this is going on. And we're going to continue to have a general conversation and maybe offer some guidance about the spiritual aspect and what us as light workers and star seeds should be, how we should be responding and how we should be aiding humanity's growth and aiding humanity's consciousness. Unlike dogmatic religions, we don't knock on doors. We don't tell people about the good news. We kind of respect everyone in their journey. And we know that most of this is about, or if not all of it, is about our own personal journey and how we evolve and how we raise our consciousness and the lessons that we learn. But I've come to the realization that there is not a lot of information about how we should be responding or how we should be acting when we have to live in this plane of existence, have to deal with these situations. So thank you for joining me for this conversation. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of this. If not, please subscribe and become part of this community. So we're going to talk about ARC. All right. The Advanced Response Knowledge is the acronym that we're going to take from this. All right. And first, I want to talk about Noah's Ark. That story has always bothered me. That God commanded Noah to build an ark. And this ark was supposed to have every creature on the planet live there while God destroyed the planet. I mean, we can get to a discussion on why God would want to destroy it, but it just didn't make any sense to me that, you know, every creature on the planet could be in one boat. It just annoyed me. That story just annoyed me. I always thought it was a story that if they could get you to believe that, they could kind of control you and get you to believe anything. So let me just read what the commandment was that God gave to Noah, and then we'll move on from there. Then God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence, and because of them, and behold, I am about to destroy them with the earth. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. You should make the ark with rooms, and you shall cover it inside and out with pitch. And I'm like, that's never going to be big enough. That's never going to be big enough to cover everything on the planet. But then another thought occurred to me that most, if not all, the spiritual teachings are allegory or metaphors. They're meant to teach a lesson and something to show something. And so when we look at the art teaches us about the provisions that need to take place in the time of destruction and what the things that we need to be doing as the earth is filled with violence and with destruction. And I looked at that and it kind of got into a download that there are preparations and things that we should be doing while the world is going through its transfiguration or transformation into a higher state of consciousness as spiritual being. There are some things that we should be doing to protect ourselves, to aid us in our work, and to help us move through this 4D period of time, right? And so when you look at the word ark, right, we said the Ark of Covenant or the ark is a container. The word ark just means container, okay? So you are that container, right, in this sense. And as the world is going through its difficult period of time, right, there's ways that you can secure yourself so that you are able to, continue to do your work, your purpose, and your mission, but also continue to be safe in your own space. All right. So we look at the word ark, and we're going to examine the first word because it turned into an acronym, and it means advance, right? Elevated awareness. In the spiritual context, being advanced means moving beyond the ego's surface level fears. It is a practice of transcendency, all right? Not to be living in your lower chakras, which have a place, right? They give yourself being here, and you're supposed to be here. But also it means that you have, a need, all right? Your lower chakras are responsible for your survival, your defense, and your presence. So they are supposed to be here, but if you overstimulate them, they can cause more harm and damage as opposed to good. So let's look at exactly how do we overcome those surface level fears, those lower vibrational fears, right? And that's through preparation. You prepare for these storms. And when I say these life storms, life gonna keep life and things gonna keep happening. And people, if you think it won't happen to you, it's no guarantee that it won't. But there's preparations that you need to do. And as Noah built the ark, there was preparations that he did, that God, divine source, gave him an outline of stuff that he should be doing to prepare. And same as in your own life. By heightening your vibration, you don't just look at the physical world, you look at the energy patterns behind it. What's actually going on? What's the deeper meaning? You kind of forecast what is coming. So in your own energy way that, oh, maybe I shouldn't catch this plane, or maybe I shouldn't go here, or this happened for a reason, because you understand that you move according to your higher self. And you do that by strengthening your vibration. Your shelter is your level of consciousness. The higher you vibrate spiritually, the less the floods of material chaos can reach you. This is why we're going to use the ARC acronym or the ARC protocol as we move through this 4D reality into 5D. That life is going to, even in our own spiritual journey, we're going to be pushed and rocked by things that happen, but we need to prepare, and we do that through the ARC protocol. So your shelter is the level of consciousness. The higher you vibrate spiritually, the less that you are attached by these material chaos. Not only will you be able to avoid a lot of situations, a lot of things will not even be in your preview. They won't come into your space because you are the higher vibration. If you understand that everything has energy, that the lower vibration you have, the more the lower vibrational things happen. The higher vibrational things happen. Okay? That's called synchronicity, matching the higher vibration of things that you want to happen in your life and avoiding those lower vibrational things. Think of it like this. If you go out to a party and this party is filled with a lot of low vibrational energy and beings and activities, then more than likely something low vibrational is going to occur. But if you go somewhere where there's higher vibration, there's less opportunity for lower vibrational things to happen as opposed to more high vibrational things. Let's talk about the R in ARC. Okay, we're looking at the acronym ARC, A-R-C, and the response is your divine neutrality. We talked about this in an earlier video that I made link to this video where we do not get attached to things. It was the invasion of Venezuela. And I talked about how spiritual people should respond to that. And again, we are not attached to things. We view things in neutrality. So you have people who are on one side of this tragedy and you have people on the other side of the tragedy. But as a spiritual being, you are neutral. You are the watcher. You are removed from that. This is the difference between reacting in fear-based and responding in soul-based. Let's say it again. Reacting through fear and responding through your soul guidance or your soul base. This is the preparation. To prepare is to master that emotional body. Advanced response means that when a crisis hit, you're not projecting anger or panic. You respond with the peace that surpasses understanding. So you see a lot of people in this incident, they are either on one side or the other. They are not spiritually neutral, right? They're either in their lower vibration of panic or anger, right? One side is panicking, the other side is anger. But as a spiritual being, right, you are removed from that, right? And people don't understand why are you not affected by a lot of things, because you are divine, you have divine neutrality, right? The shelter in this is the eye of the hurricane. While the world is in conflict, and the world's going to be in conflict, the world's going to keep whirling, life is going to keep life, and things are going to keep happening. But how do we behave as spiritual people? What is our response? While the world is in conflict, your divine response creates a protective field of calm around you and those in your presence. Now, that's another thing you need to understand. When you raise your vibration, you are not just helping yourself in this life journey. You are actually sheltering other people with your energy, providing cover. Your vibrational field just doesn't become, your aura. It moves out and it covers your children. It covers your loved ones. You can even do your own practices, and we're going to get into those practices, send love and light to those people that need it in their own life journey. So it's not just about you in this covering. It is about expanding that to the people around you that need it and that, will benefit from it too. From the work that you do, there are going to be people who benefit from that work. That inner work that you do, other people that you love may not be doing it, and they may be on their own journey and you respecting their journey, but you doing your work on yourself actually covers them. Okay. I've been in spaces where I walk in and people immediately get calm. People start feeling less agitated. And the opposite can be said. If you go into a place and you're very agitated, very angry, you can see people around you start getting agitated and angry. Did I lose my connection? It glitched for a minute. I hope I'm still with the collective, but it did glitch out, okay? So this is a live feed, so I can't do anything about that, right? Let me see. Let me back up. See if I'm missing any comments. Thank you for joining me as we talk about the ARC protocol. So I was saying that if you go into a place and you're agitated, you can spread that energy in that place. I remember one time I was in a bank and the teller was, she was taking a while doing what she was doing. And the lady in front of me was very agitated, right? And she turned to me and she's just taking so long. And I looked at her very calmly and I said, well, she's probably going as fast as she can go. And the lady looked at me and said, you're probably right. She probably is going. And her energy immediately changed. So energy, is a force. And so while you're doing the work, right, on yourself, you're actually covering your loved ones, covering the people around you. And it is not about pushing your belief on people. That's a mistake that we make, that religious make, that you have to convince people that some way is the way, the light, the truth, whatever. Do the work. Work on yourself, and you will be known by your work. People will recognize your energy. All right. You don't have to convince them of anything. And they're like, why are you always so calm? And you're just like, because I do work on myself. I know everything is a reflection of me and how I respond. And so you do that work, and then you become something, a light that people can see, a light that can be shown and shined. All right. So we're talking about the ARC protocol. If you have just tuned in, you may want to rewind, but we're talking about Noah building the ark and what it meant spiritually. Because I said that story always irritated me because it just didn't make any logical sense. And I took it as a way of kind of fooling people that if you believe this, you'll believe anything. But if we look at the ark as a metaphor or as a story or as a guide, we understand that the ark was preparing for tribulations. So we worked on developing what's called the ARC protocol, ARK, where you as that container become the shelter, not only for yourself, but for others that you love and that you want to protect by doing the work on yourself. So let's look at the K. I kept putting C, but I finally got that out of my brain and put K. All right. So we're looking at that knowledge or that inner truth. All right, as the K in the ark. This is a direct experiential knowledge of the divine or self. Okay, when we speak of the divine, we don't just talk about something abstract, separate from us. We are the divine is us. And it's amazing that people have such a hard time with that concept, that you are the evidence of God, just like the tree is, just like the waterfall is, just like the outdoors is. You are the evidence of God. Okay. You cannot know God because that's impossible in your current state, but you can experience divine source. Okay. You can experience it in nature. You can experience it in the different ways that the universe works. We experience God. We don't know God, but we experience God. And anyone that says that they know God is lying to you. They are lying to you because God is unknowable, but it can be experienced. It can be quantified through the way we look at nature and things like that. So we look at the preparation, again, is seeking shelter in knowledge. As we go through, we become the ark. We seek shelter in knowledge. And this is gnosis. It's called gnosis. It's an inner knowing. It's not so much as an outer understanding, but an inner knowing. You know the truth. Truth vibrates, okay? You know when you're being lied to. You know when you feel that something is real. That's what we call gnosis, or inner truth. It means knowing that you are more than your body. You know that your soul is internal, and to feel something coming loses its power over you. This plane of existence does not have any power because you are an eternal being. You are not mortal. You are immortal. This flesh will pass, but you will remain. And once you know that inner knowledge, you can really go back and remove yourself from the world being the world. Okay? If we go back, I'm going to flip back really quick and see how this plays into your response of being divine neutral. That you know that you are not part of this plane of existence in the sense that you are going to be, there's something that's going to be final for you. It won't be a finality. No matter what happens to you, you will still be here. All right. I will be here and I always will be here. You cannot get rid of this. Okay. It is not made that way. Of course, my memories and my flesh and my skin color may pass away, but I am eternal just like you are. All right. And we know this. Even if you believe in some type of religious teaching that you go to an afterlife, you have just said that there's nothing that you're going to still be here. You have just, proven that. Even if you believe in an afterlife and you go to heaven and you drink milk and honey, which sounds sickening to me, but milk and honey, or you have a thousand virgins, which is weird to me too. All right. But you know that you're going to still be here. I'm just saying you come back again to learn and to grow and to expand your consciousness, because this life, this being lifetime is way too short for it. All right. 70, 80, 90 years is not enough time to learn everything you need to know so you become your higher self. You have to go through, and sometimes you have to repeat things or reinforce things. Sometimes when you're going through the same lesson, you're just reinforcing them to make sure you really got them. Okay. Let me check something really quick. I don't want to miss anyone's comments. I have a tendency to talk and I miss comments. Okay. So you know that you are eternal. That is a truth that you recognize. Okay. That's not something that you have to be convinced of. All right. Maybe a few people believe, oh, that's it. But most people believe that that this continues in some kind of way. Okay. The shelter in the ark, we're looking at the ark as the ark protocol, which is a new understanding, a new light I'm going to start shining on how we maneuver, because it's going to be a lot of things happening. It's going to be a ton. Oh my God. This has only been, what is this? The first week, the second week of 2026? You're like, oh my goodness. Look at how much has went down already. All right. That's why I got this download about the ark and how we prepare ourselves to become a container and how we shelter ourselves, just as the Bible gave that lesson. All right. I'm not a big religious person, but I do think a lot of things have spiritual meaning and spiritual truth that we get understanding from. I don't like to manipulate things as religions do and tell you that this is for you and you got to live this way and this, but there is knowledge to be gained from a lot of religious teachers. I don't care if it's Christianity, Hinduism, or Gnosticism. There's a lot of knowledge to be gained from that, and that's what we're here to gain knowledge. So if you look at it, 2026 has came in like a lion already. In just 1 week, so much is happening, and so many things are going to be happening. And so I want to give those of the conscious collective, those of the conscious mind, knowledge on how to maneuver and how to handle themselves. So we're talking about ARK, the ARK protocol, ARK, and we are on K, the shelter in knowledge and truth. Truth is the ultimate armor. And that's the one thing we run from, we have from. All right. Truth is like accountability. All right. Speak the truth unto yourself before you try to speak it to someone else. When you have knowledge of your connection to divine source, you're always home. No matter what is happening externally, when you know that you are connected to something greater than you, you may not know exactly what it is, but you know that it's more than you. If you don't know that, then go out in nature and tell me who made that tree. Go out in nature and tell me who ran that water, who runs that waterfall, who planted the grass. It's something did it. All right. Scientists said it's too many things that had to happen for it not to be some type of external control. Okay. So we know that something did it. We don't know what it is. A lot of people say, well, I know what it is. Yeah. It's thousands of religions, trillions of religions. Everyone knows. Okay. I'm saying we don't know. All right. But we can experience it. We can experience it. We can agree that grass is growing in that tree. So we know that something did it. And we don't get into the debate about it, but we respect it and we know there's something else. And when we look at that, we like, oh, well, something made me. Something, I'm a part of something. I don't know what it is, but I know I'm a part of something that's bigger than me. And I'm always covered by it. I'm always home in it. When I am connected to it, I know I am always home in it. Okay. All right. Does that doubt come and go? Yeah. But if you do the work and you stay in that constant present, then nothing's going to affect you. As 2026, do what 2026 is going to do, right? You need to learn how to maintain your present and your connection into what God is to you. All right. Not what you don't have to go share it. We have, there's some monks here in Georgia that are doing a walk for peace. And they normally do it all over the country. All over the world. They walk in Asia. They do this. They decide to walk in America, right? And of course, they were stopped by this Christian who blocked their path, saying they have to give their life over to Jesus, and all that chanting is sending them to hell. And the monk is saying, well, that's your journey. This is our journey. And and that bothers them. And I talked about this in the video because it's a virus. All right. Christianity is a type of virus that spreads itself. Okay. And we have to separate the truth from it and understand that it actually spreads itself. And I did a video on how that actually happened. You can look at my videos and you get better understanding. I don't want to go down the rabbit holes, but they actually had to actually block these people because they did not want to follow his path. And so you understand that there's already something fundamentally wrong with that, because I always try to explain to people that spirituality is a tailor suit. All right. Everyone likes to have that nice fitting suit that's built for your body. We all are made differently. Okay. All right. Some are tall, some are short, some are men, some are women. So why would you think one religion fits? And if you couldn't find one clothes or one clothing that fits perfectly on the physical form, why do you think you can find one religion that fits perfectly on the spiritual form? Okay. You have to ask yourself, what works for you? Let me just check real quick. I have this blown up. I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. All right. You have to find what works for you and what's meant for you, because no one else is living your life except you. No one else is experiencing what you go through except you. And there cannot be one answer, because no one thinks like you and no one responds like you. Okay. And so you have to find what works for you. And when you do that, you understand that you are always connected to something greater than you and something larger than you and something more than you. So we have been talking about ARK, A-R-K. I'm going to go back to the beginning for those that are just coming in. And Advanced Response Knowledge. And that acronym is based off of Noah, the story of Noah and God commanding him to build an ark. And I wanted to encourage my spiritual fellow men and women, if that's a word, my fellow star seeds and light workers, that we need to think about our own container. The word ark means container, and our own vessel as a way of maneuvering and protecting ourselves through 4D reality. Okay. So that has been the whole scope of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be coming back on, and I'm going to be addressing the different ways. If you want to get deeper ways and meanings and lessons, there's a Patreon page. That link is in that description, right? Where there are practices, there's lessons, and there's also community, all right? Connection with other one, because as a collective, that's why we are a conscious collective. We're supposed to be connecting with each other. We're supposed to be raising our vibration and raising our energy by being connected to each other. Okay. So if you want to learn and connect and to develop practices, then you definitely need to tap into that Patreon page. It is free on some levels for you to connect and learn how to maneuver and how to make it your way, because 2026 has just gotten started. 2026 has just gotten started. We have not even touched the iceberg yet. We done hit it already. And as spiritual people, right, there's ways that we know and we understand how to maneuver. And I wanted to share this with the collective. I wanted them to be part of this so they can get some guidance and get some understanding on how they can make it through and not be so stuck in your lower vibration. All right. Not be so stuck in your survival and your scarcity, and your defensiveness. All right. But to move into those higher chakras, your higher consciousness. That's what you do as a light worker, as a star seed. And these lessons need to be taught. And I am grateful and honored that if I'm connecting with someone and it's resonating with them and it helps them in their life journey, then I'm doing what I am supposed to be doing. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's building community and guiding and supporting the Starseed Lightworker community. So do me a big favor. Please like this video. This is a live that we did. Share it for those that need to understand that there are ways that they can maneuver through this plane of existence as the world keeps whirling and life keeps life, and how you can remain, present and safe and secure in your higher consciousness. So like this video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you. I am always honored to do that. All right. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining the Patreon community and expanding the knowledge. All right. So I think that's it for today. I will be coming back on. There's so much to talk about, so many other things that we can discuss. Try to do it more regularly. All right, because there's a lot going on and we need to have some clarity on it. But until then, I want to wish everyone love and light in their journey.